So hero pose is really a lot of tension through the knees. So if you've got your students that have really tight knees, now this is again something that I've suffered from. I've had operations on both knees, so they can tend to get fluid on them sometimes, and if that's the case, the leaning back and this sort of extension in the front of the knee is really super uncomfortable, and it's easy to do damage to your knees. So you have to sometimes look at your students and say, no, don't do that. Do this option instead. So this is why you would need maybe to have a yoga block available for any of your students that maybe are tight in the knees but still want to do the pose. And you can have more than one of these as well. You know, you can put two on depending on how tight the person is in the knees. So you want to be kneeling. Let's go from the front, maybe that will give you a better view. So the knees are together, but I want to let the feet come out to the side so my sit bones can go down between my feet like this. So now my sit bones are on the floor, but you can see how that's already it's a big stretch into the knees. So from the side, it would look like this. So if that isn't an option, this is where you could use the yoga block. You'd ask the student to sit up and then sit up onto the box. So like I say, you could put two blocks there. If they're really tight, they can still sit like that. And then you want to walk the hands back, come down and onto the elbows, and then allow the body to come down and lay the arms open over the head. So it's about as much as you can relaxing in that, and then to come back up, I take a hold of the feet, push into the elbows, come onto the hands, and come back forward, and then maybe a down dog would give you a little counter for them big stretches on the knees that you've just done. And then you can come back down to your knees. So you can see how it kind of looks like it should be an easy pose, but the knees, that's going to be where people can and can't do it. So you have to be very mindful of that when you're in your class looking, because people will just want to do it, and they tend to disregard the fact of any messages that are coming from their knees, and it's really easy to sort of injure yourself in that one. So sit them, if they want to do it, they can sit up onto a block like this and maybe only come back to here, and they can support themselves. But you can see they're still getting a nice big stretch here. If they can, maybe come down to the forearms and let the head hang back like this, rather than trying to get the sit bones down and do that big stretch, because it really is a big stretch into the knees. So your alignment again is your feet are wider than your hips, so your sit bones go down to the floor in between your heels, and then your knees are close together. So the knees come in, the feet come out to the side, the sit bones sit down into the middle. And remember, aid yourself down, just don't let yourself just drop. Walk yourself down with your hands until you can come onto your elbows, till you can lay your shoulders down. But all the time, nice and gentle. It's not one of them poses that you want to go charging into. You want to take your time and listen to the messages that your body is saying. But if you can do it, it's a great pose. Again, it makes you feel great. It opens up all of that energy that makes you feel invigorated. So, there we have it. Hero pose. Namaste.
Okay. Keep smiling. Woo, yeah.
Well, we took all the chances and danced all the day.